I do understand that right now we are in a time where people demonize the opposition, the political or spiritual opposition, so much that their death is a logical conclusion. It's
Wow.
if you tell enough people that someone or a group of people are Nazis, are a threat to your literal freedom and democracy, and in fact, to your very life, I mean, why wouldn't you think that they should die or at least be stopped in some dramatic way? I mean, if you or I had the chance, I mean, I'm sure you face this question, if you had the chance to go back in time and you had an opportunity to kill Hitler, it raises an ethical question, but I would probably say, yeah, I think I would. I think I would, if I had that opportunity to prevent the deaths of millions and millions of Jews, I probably would. Well, that's how some people literally think of Charlie Kirk or Donald Trump or conservative Christians, as existential and literal threats to their lives, and they use terms like evil and Nazi and whatnot. If you've ever referred to Charlie Kirk or someone like him as a Nazi or Hitler-esque or a threat to your freedom and democracy in your life, then you have no reason to be upset about his death. But the logical conclusion is, well, if someone's going to, because I believe in self-defense, if someone is a threat to my life and a threat to my freedom and a threat to my, then I would believe that person should not be able to do that. And if I'm confronted with it, then the ending of that life is a necessity, like it was for someone like Hitler. And so I think that we can say safely ourselves, well, we're not capable of firing a gun and killing somebody. But there are enough crazy people out there, enough damaged people out there who could take our words, if we say them enough and say them publicly enough and casually throw them out on social media and stoke flames of hatred, of when we demonize and exaggerate, it can lead to things like this. And even in the midst of pain, even in the midst of hatred, even in the midst of violence, we are to love God and love others. And so Charlie, that's ironically enough what he was all about. As much as I even know people who think that he was, horrible and evil. He never, ever, ever, ever hurt anybody. He never absolutely ever advocated for the violence against anybody. He called certain ideas evil. He never personally insulted people, calling them themselves evil. I would be confused if you truly believed he was evil and an existential threat. Why would you be upset by his death? And it's because, I mean, we celebrated when Osama bin Laden was killed. And I believe that I'm sure, hopefully we were sad for his eternal soul. Hopefully we are sad for what he represents. But I had what I would believe would be a righteous satisfaction that he was no longer able to do the damage that he was doing.
Yeah.
And there is a measurable group of people and an influential group of people in this country and around the world who genuinely believe that there are certain people who are as bad and as dangerous and as much of a threat as an Osama bin Laden or a Hitler or any other terrorist. And so this is the logical conclusion. And so it shouldn't be shocking. It should just be devastating and upsetting. And so my prayer for this country is that we would answer the question, the existential questions, in the same way Charlie did. When Charlie was asked, what do you want to be remembered for? Or whenever he was asked about, like, what's the ultimate? It wasn't, well, I want to win the debate over trans rights. I want to win the debate over abortion. I want to win, I want to make sure that Republicans get elected as president. That was never the number one thing. It was the number one thing for him, the umbrella, the macro level for him. And I hope it is for me, and I hope it is for you and for anyone who's watching right now, is the question of who are you? Whose are you? Who do you belong to? And so my prayer for this country is that we will continually be steered towards and pushed towards a reliance on God and his word, and not on the affairs of men.